Hey. Happy Friday. How are you guys doing? Golly gee whiz. August 15th. Happy name day, you Greek guys. And I don't know which other ones that would celebrate August 15th on the name day. You celebrate people with their name Peter. Peter, pumpkin eater. So it's been a week. My hair has grown out a little bit, but not even close. Not even close to being enough. Like, dang, I so much don't like this short hair. What am I going to do, though? I can only complain. And I don't really want to become a complainer. So here I am, Friday, August 15th. What a day today, too. Two of the top world leaders landed in Alaska, had a meeting. They said the meeting went well, and then they didn't even allow the news media to try to F it up. I thought it was a stroke of brilliance because you'll get somebody to paint the Mona Lisa, and then they'll start like, were you really thinking of Lisa when you did it? Or were you thinking of Carol? I mean, they ask the stupidest, dumbest questions you ever wanted to hear. And it's kind of like they're out for destruction. They want to cause trouble. And no, I am not in favor of the news media as it stands today. I think it was a stroke of brilliance. Putin said, "You're right. If you were president, there would be no war today." Wow, what a sentence is that? Okay. And then Trump said what he's going to say. And they didn't say much about other than the fact that, it looked like they got a lot closer to peace. And then Putin, for the first time that was ever recorded, or that's what they said. I mean, I'm not a historian, so could be a complete lie. You know how the news media is, okay? So they said for the first time ever, Putin spoke English in a formal setting, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, what he said was, President Trump, maybe we can meet next time in Moscow. And Trump said, that would be pretty hard to do, but we'll see what we can do. I mean, very diplomatic. But why is this important and why is it not political? Okay, because we try not to be political, but it does slide in here and there. Okay, and the reason is because there's young men dying. Young men that won't get up tomorrow, take their shower, brush their teeth, eat their breakfast, see their moms, their dads. They won't get to go to school. They won't get to see their girlfriends or wives, depending on their age, because they'll be killed. That's the end of their lives. I mean, they've lived all these years, were raised by a mom and a dad, have sisters and brothers, and they're out on the battlefield and suddenly they die. And that is the horrendousness of war. That's not political. That is something that we need to lament, and that it shouldn't be that way, okay? I heard something, where was it? It was either on Instagram or it was on something like that, where you flip through the videos and it winds up saying something interesting. It says that you can find a peaceful way to do things, alternative way to solve a problem other than violence, when a mosquito lands on your balls. Go ahead, beat the crap out of them. No, you're not. You're going to find an alternative way to solve that problem rather than smack. If a mosquito lands here and I feel I'm going to hit, mosquito going to hit. Mosquito lands here, going to hit. If it lands on you know what, well, where's the hit? I thought that was a very weird but telling sentence. You will find an alternative to violence when a mosquito lands on your testicles. Nothing nasty about that. It's something to chuckle about, but it makes sense. So, welcome to Friday night. I appreciate you guys being here. We got some people in here. We have, who do we have? We have an alternative to Scott. We have Scott's mom, Evelyn. Hi, Peter, Gregg. Have fun tonight. Well, Evelyn, you know, I'm going to give you a song. You are a sweetheart, and just because you're of your age, we're going to, at least I'm going to honor your wisdom. You've got to have some wise words somewhere. And I'm going to sing to you. Why will I sing to you? I'm going to brighten your day. I'm going to make you happy to hear the word Evelyn being sung over the air to millions of potential viewers. We don't have millions in here, but we have Evelyn, and we love you, Evelyn, we do. So, Evelyn, the purpose of me singing is not to show off that I don't sing very well, but it's to show off that we honor you and we love you. And you're the only girl that's got the guts to come in and say hello tonight. Let's see if we can get another woman to come in here and say hello. So, thanks for being here. We love you. We honor you. We're thankful for you and all that good stuff. And then, right here in South Florida, from one end of the country to the other, we've got Hal. How you doing, Hal? My buddy, my pal. Hey, it rhymes. Hal, my pal. How you doing, Hal? I hope you're feeling good. I hope everything is copacetic with you and that you are doing awesome. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you being a friend. I'm the one falling down and screwing things up by not reaching out because I do have the ability to text you, and I haven't done it. Whose fault is that? Who can I point to and say they're to blame? I don't know who I can blame for that. Gotta be somebody. Where is the weak link? Who's the weak sister here? I don't know who it is, but I love you, Hal. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Jeff from Australia, down in Brisbane. How you doing, Jeff? Getting close to your turkey trip. Gobble, 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 gobble. So, hey, good day, Peter. How are we? 10 days? Oh, see? I was going to ask you that. That's what went through my mind. You read my mind. Get out of my mind. What? Hey, Jeff, what are you doing in my mind? Get out. I was going to say, when you off to Turkey? So, he's off in 10 days. So that means you'll get to be here next week because that's only 7 days. I have that right? Or am I getting dumb in my old age? So anyway, thank you for coming in, Jeff. That's wonderful. You're looking great today, Peter. Well, I wouldn't go that far. I kind of think my hair looks stupid. But I'm used to long hair on me. I look like an old gray grandpa. No, where's the majesty of that mane of the hair where people will go like, why don't you get a haircut? Your hair's too long. Yeah, that's exactly what I want to hear. My hair is too long. Hair, everywhere, hair. Just a song like that. So, and here is the man, the big man himself, Scotty. Hey, howdy, Peter. How you doing, Scotty? Love you, buddy. You're not supposed to put your head in the ninja appliance. You know, you've got it right. Why did I stick it in there? I always put my nose where it doesn't belong. And look at the results. I look like a chopped up, grayed out, old doofus. Whose fault is that? What am I going to tell you? Do I have a red spot here? Do I have a zit? No, when I am aiming this way, it's not bad. When I turn this way, it looks like there's a red zit. Do you see the same thing on your monitor? So, anyway, love you, Scotty. And who does Scotty love? I have no idea who Scott loves. Oh, he loves his mom. So who's Scott's mom? That's the person I sang a song to. You can't put the dots together? Here, I got a pen for you. You could put the dots together. Scott, the son. Evelyn, the mother. Draw a line. Make your own conclusions. So, yeah, you have a lovely vibrato. You know, Scott, that's the one thing that really attracts me when I hear singers, especially male singers, when they have this amazing, awesome vibrato when they sing. And I really tried to develop it. I never did a good job. So it would be like, happy birthday to you. I notice when I don't push, I can do the vibrato. I was all right for a while. I could smile for a while. But when I saw you last night, you held my hand so tight when you stopped to say hello. And though you wished me well, you couldn't tell that I'd been crying over you, crying over you, and you said so long, left me standing all alone, alone and crying. That's one of my favorite songs. You could put so much emotion into that song. And if you can't tell, I like to sing. Hello? If you don't like it, leave. If you like it, stay. See, I had to balance that out. So thanks for that compliment, because you know what? It hits home. You hit the target. You shot your arrow and it hit the target. I want to have a good vibrato. I just never was able to accomplish it. Thank you for noticing. See, sometimes a little compliment that you don't even know where it came from, the sender, meaning Scott had no idea that I have a sensitivity to actually wanting to develop my vibrato. Vibrato is when your voice shakes. I was all right. That's flat. I was all right for a while. That's vibrato. I wish I had that nice, rich vibrato. There's two young guys, and when they sing a little bit more opera-like, but dang, their vibrato comes out like they've mastered it. And I wish I had that gift. I really do, but I don't. Rant over. I am what I am. I got what I have, you know. Here's Ashley. We have another girl in the room. Ashley, Ashley, I'm singing you a song. I'm saying hello, oh Ashley, the girl, a pretty girl is in the room. She's smiling at me. Her name is Ashley. Ashley, and she's smiling at me. I smile right back at you. I smile right back at you. But I don't want to get your boyfriend all jealous at all. No, I know Alex. Alex is her boyfriend. So he's a wonderful, nice sweetheart. Even when he's a bad boy, he's a wonderful kid. So hi to Ashley. Hi to Alex. I love you guys. Here's another one. Let me make sure I turned off my church. I don't want to be sitting in a hallway where I got that echo going while I'm just talking. Mookie, Mookie, how are you? I like your name. Hello to Peter. Peter is in tune tonight. Thank you. Sometimes I sing out of tune. if you ask me. No, I'll ask you because you got the right answer. I like your answer, Mook. I love you, buddy. Thank you guys for being here. You know, I've had a little bit of a rough week and just the pain. I hurt myself. I take a few Advil, cover it all up, and nobody knows the difference. But then when you guys pay me a compliment, it makes me, what's the right word? Joyful. And you know what? Being joyful is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. So thank you, Mookie. How are you feeling, buddy? Actually, to all of you, how's everybody feeling? I'm sitting here telling you my woes, my problems, and I don't even ask, how are you doing? You know, how are you doing? So tell me, I want to know. Don't be hiding it. If you're in pain, if anybody's got a birthday, give me a chance to sing happy birthday to you by telling me it's your birthday. Today's your birthday. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yes, the light's off, so I don't have my church hall on. Here's my buddy Norm, the Nikon guy, all the way up in the cold Canada. Merry Christmas, Peter. Good evening, Greggies around the world. Gotta watch out for those mosquitoes. Yes, I saw a mosquito in here, and you know what I did? I have a little light in the corner that they call it a bug zapper. Bzzzt. And it was a big freaking mosquito. I almost said a bad word. It was a big stinking mosquito. And I wasn't able to get it. And I'm thinking like, you know, that thing is going to find me and bite me. And it's not the mosquito bite that's the bad part. So what is the actual bad part? It's the damn disease that they could be carrying. And we got that down here in Miami. So I turned the bug light on, and about an hour later, I heard it zap. And I went over and looked. The bug light's in that corner. That's why I'm looking there. I heard it zap, but I went and looked, and I didn't see no mosquito. So I don't know. I definitely don't want the mosquito to bite me. Oh, I guess that you two don't talk to each other. Evelyn is the mother. Scott is the son. Mom and son. Hey, Scott, I hope you're fine tonight. And I'm sure Scott would say, I'm fine, Mom. How are you doing? How are you feeling, Mom? And then Evelyn would say, I'm feeling fine, Scott. Thanks for asking. I'm so glad to see you here tonight, Scott. And Scott would say, you too, Mom. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm so happy to see you too. So this is a mother and a son, and I'm just inventing a conversation for them. I could do that. It's my show. If you don't like it, you've got the power of the mouse. I got the power of the mouth. You've got the power of the mouse. We got M&Ms going. So where are we? We are saying hi to Scott. Scotty's saying baseball hat. Nah, I'm not that kind of guy, Scotty. I'm not a baseball. I do have one around here. It feels weird on me. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Let me show you. And then I'm going to mess up my hair because of you, Scott. Scotty, you are one freaking troublemaker. You know that? You cause me to do things and say things that I don't want to do. What's up with that, Scott? There. Now I got my red hat. Can you read what it says? It's not a MAGA hat. It's a Peter Gregg hat. Actually, what does it say? Ah, the Christmas room, something warm, human, and wonderful. That's what happens in the Christmas room. I'll put the hat on. Now you see the short sides. I need to put the hat back. Sly taught me when I put the hat on, I need to, I got my glasses off before I break them. I need to curl the sides downwards. See, I'm not even good with these things. So she said, put it down like that, all the way down, which I'm used to just putting on my head like that. That feels better. But she says, no, you put it on like that. What does Sly know? I don't know. She's just trying to be mean and make me feel weird in my hat. Oh, and I need to put it up like this. Because I don't want to hide, unless you get the light up. Never mind. Too much TMI, as they say. All right, Scotty, so I got the hat on. You approve, Scott, or should I take the damn thing off? All right, now you tell me. You started this. You tell me, leave the hat on or take it off. No, I think it looks great. It makes you look a little younger. Oh, you say that to everybody. Everybody that gets a haircut, I'll bet you dollar to donuts, you tell them, I like your haircut. It makes you look younger. So, Ashley says, hi, Peter. I even sang you a song, Ashley. Didn't you get it? Hey, Norm, did you bring the chicken? Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I wonder where I got that from. No, it wasn't Canada. I've been trying to develop that slow vibrato. I can't get it. My band covers crying over you. Cry. If you push your voice, you can't vibrato. I did learn that much. So if I go cry, I can't vibrato. But if I just calm down and just very natural, let my voice fall out of my mouth. Crying over you, crying over you, and you said so. That's the song. Anyway, that's the song that Scotty's talking about. This hat feels like it's too big for me. So Scott says he's been trying to do the cover. Well, send me the piano track, and I'll sing to it. But how do we know it's going to be in my key? Because you're crying over you. All right. Anyway. Your vibrato is just right. You guys know what a vibrato is when he's talking about vibrato? That's when the voice shakes. Hello. Not the fat chin, the voice inside. Okay. The best pickles come from Clausen. The best pickles come from Clausen. The best pickles come from Clausen. They crunch when you bite. I don't know what got into me. Oh, it's all the Advil I took. I wrote to Carlos and I told him I loaded up with Advil tonight, Carlos. So I'm flying high on Advil. So here's the big boy, Sammy, Sammy, Sammy. I love you, my Sammy. How you doing, big boy? What you doing tonight? Are you feeling good? Hey, Sammy, oh, Sammy. He's in New Jersey. Very nice green shirt. This is one of the shirts I like. I like the yellow one. And I like the green one. Pretty bad when we're sitting here talking about shirts, isn't it? So Scotty says, no camera labels tonight. I haven't had them for 3 weeks. Goes to show you how much you pay attention. I don't even know which camera to look at. I turned them off because they got mislabeled. Which is a good segue into I took what you're looking at now. No, this is the Nikon. So I put the Nikon over there, which is bin. But when we move over to this guy, I took the ZV-E1. I took the ZV-E1 off, and I put the Lumix there. But it kept showing up that there's a Sony ZV-E1. How did I solve that problem? Did I go in there and fix it? No, sir, I did not. I just turned off the label. So this is the Lumix S5 Mark II. So the segue is that and it's because of Sammy. Sammy, you need a Christmas. Well, this hat says, welcome to the Christmas room. Peter Gregg. Something warm, human, and wonderful. Isn't that good enough? No, Sammy, I love your hair. Don't you dare cut your hair. You look absolutely stunning, handsome. All the girls are going to tackle you, and I'm going to have to fly up to New York and pick you up off the floor. The Christmas room baseball team. I don't even think I have this hat up online. So I did, but first message wasn't going through. So I tried again, and then both went through. Yeehaw! You didn't know I could do that, did you? Yeehaw! Okay, so Sammy, you just said I needed a Santa hat, or am I repeating myself? Oh, whatever. Okay, so the segue is I was talking to Sammy, and I wasn't really complaining. I shouldn't do that because something hurts when I do that. Something that I'm not going to tell you what hurts. Okay? And I said I got the I got the ZV-E1 up on Marketplace. I've got it up there for almost 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks to be more exact. And these people are saying, oh, I want to buy it, but they don't come through. And they'll say, oh, yeah, I'll pick it up. I'll be there. One guy even asked for my address. Never showed up. Oh, my God. They never showed up. So I was talking to Sammy. He says, oh, I went and I saw the FX2, which is a camera I want to buy. Okay. And it's very, very nice, Peter. You got my approval, Peter. You could buy it. And I said, but Sammy, I don't have the money. I have to sell the ZV-E1. And I will have the money to pay for it. And out of the mouths of babes, he says, well, did you pray about it? I mean, I sit here, I talk about Christianity, I get into stuff where people going like, you get too much into religious stuff. And then he said, did you pray about it? And I didn't. He really nailed my ass. I should have prayed about it when I put it up online. Lord, bless me. Bring the right person that really wants the camera. So after we got off the phone, this was day before yesterday, okay, I immediately prayed about it because he really, I had no excuse. Here's this young guy telling this old guy, did you do what you preach? And I didn't. I was so ashamed. So I prayed that God would bring somebody that wants the camera, and that the camera will do wonderful for them, and that they will enjoy the camera. In Jesus' name, amen. Very simple prayer. Okay. The next day, the camera sold. Oh, I was shocked. They came and they picked it up. They were going to pick it up today. But I guess young men, when they want something, they get, they start drooling over it. And he says, can I come tonight? Can I come tonight? Here, let me show you. So, how do I do this? I think I dropped this right on here. So, this is Kevin. He came. Guess what he drove up? Guess what he drove up in? A stinking, lousy Cybertruck. Look at him. Isn't he a model? And he came with his brother. These guys, look at how handsome. Ding dong. 23 or 24 years old, and the other one's 21 or 22. You know damn well I took the camera out. You know I took the camera out and took pictures of them. Look at the smile on that guy's face. I know how to, make guys smile, or people, not just guys. And I had to go outside and take pictures with the Cybertruck. Here he is leaning against the Cybertruck. This is the younger brother, okay? And the one on the left is the older one. And the younger one is, I think, either a professional golfer or an avid golfer. So I had him take his golf club out and swing it in front of the car. And I got them chit-chatting with each other. And I just grabbed the Sony A7C Mark II. And I just, okay, now how do I get rid of this? Lewis, help. How do I get this off? No, I want this off. Okay, that's how I get it off. No, I didn't. It changed cameras. So it's still, it did go off. Okay. Aren't they models? Dang, I wish I could get them to come here so I could take some pictures with a better bounce card. And Scott would say, yeah, take pictures with the better bounce card. get it up there and get it up and for sale. And it would be a great thing. Maybe I should get a couple of flash units for the Sony. So I tapped on Randy's expertise on the shipping and everything, and I deposited the money in the bank and ordered the FX2. Yay, there's an FX2 on order. It's a coming, baby. It's a coming. It's supposed to be here Monday or maybe before. And Randy helped me with the shipping and that kind of stuff. I mean, the man worked for the post office for 55 years. Not really. I'm exaggerating. So that's why I called him. How do I get this thing shipped down here to me? Blah, blah, blah. He helped me, walked me through it. Randy's always there to give me a helping hand. I mean, if you need a helping hand, I don't know if he'll help you, but he definitely will help me, okay? He's like a brother. Actually, all of you are like my brothers and my sisters. We're all family. We love each other. Even when we get mad at each other, we love each other. Right? Right? You hear me out there? Get over it. I'm telling you, get over it. You've been around here too long to be mad. All righty? Yes, I'm talking to you. So I got the FX2 on order. The only thing I was scared of is when I went and deposited the money in the bank. What if they brought counterfeit money? But they were very nice. They were really incredibly nice. All 3 cameras that I sold were to amazing people. And when I whipped out the camera, and I give them, once I realize that they're comfortable, I bring them in the kitchen because they can be scared because this is on Marketplace. You don't know where you're going. They're coming to a strange house. And I said, would you feel comfortable coming in? I said, look, I'm 72 years old. There's 2 of you. So there's nothing I can do to you. I should be more scared of you than you are of me. And they laughed at me. And I said, okay, come on in. And we spent over an hour. I showed them a couple of my different lenses. I brought my camera bag out there that has the A7C, this guy right here, A7C Mark II, okay, and love this camera. As a matter of fact, Randy showed me a little shortcut. The one thing that I didn't like about this camera that kept me from saying I love the camera to no end was one feature that is on the camera that I sold, which is the ZV-E1. So the ZV-E1, when you put a crop sensor lens on it, even though it's a full sensor camera, it won't switch over into a crop mode. So why is that important? The reason that it's important is because they have something in the camera that's called dynamic active image stabilization. It works really well. I like it a lot. However, it will crop an additional almost 30%. So if you put this crop sensor lens, this is an 11 millimeter f1.8 lens. When I put this lens on here, it crops automatically, okay? I couldn't help it. If I put it onto the ZV-E1, it did not crop. Then if I put dynamic active image stabilization and it crops it in, it zooms it in to kill that crop, I get a wider picture on the ZV-E1 with a crop sensor lens that will happen on this one, A7C Mark II. Couldn't think of the name. And Randy said, well, they have something unique in there where you can turn that automatic crop off. And I said, no way. He said, yes, you can. I said, no way. He said, yes, you can. I said, no way. He said, yes, you can. And shut up. So I found it. And dang. Now when I put the crop sensor lens onto the Sony A7C Mark II, it no longer crops. And when I turn the dynamic active image stabilization on, it crops almost all of the, you get the black lines because the A7C is smaller than a full frame sensor. So what happens, I need to stop talking with my hands with the camera, is the edges get these black, like a round circle. Well, it no longer happens. Thank you, Randy. Hats off to you. Okay, let's fix this hair. Doesn't look too bad. So now I'm enamored. I hope the FX2 has that same feature. I really do. I won't know till the camera gets here and I find out if it will actually do the same thing, because I love that. Now, the ZV-E1 will still do one thing. Where are we? Over here. The ZV-E1, the Sony ZV-E1, also I call her Eleanor, will do something that I don't know of hardly any other camera that does it. It will shoot 4K in 120p, 120 frames per second. And is there another camera that does that? Any of you guys know of another camera that will shoot full frame 120p in 4K? The ZV-E1 will do that. So when these guys take the camera that they just bought, and if they go out in the golf course and he wants to shoot some slow motion of the one guy of his brother swinging the golf club, he can turn on, and I already downloaded it into the camera, because when the camera was first released, it wasn't in the camera. And I think they were planning on selling that feature, because it's not a firmware update. So if you own the ZV-E1, Sony ZV-E1, also known as Eleanor in the Christmas room, and that's Sammy's doing. He said, call her Eleanor, because I was recording the song, You Got a Thing About You, I Just Can't Live Without You, I Really Want You, Eleanor, near me. Your looks intoxicate me, even though your folks hate me. I think I love you, Eleanor, love me. So we call the camera Eleanor, okay? What was I talking about? I got so involved in the singing. So we call her Eleanor. Oh, she can do 120 frames per second in full 4K with no handicap. The A7C II won't do it. I don't think the FX2 will do it. I'm not even sure if the FX3 will do it. Okay? Now, don't quote me on that. I don't know the specs on the FX3. But the A7C2 will do, the ZV-E1 will do that. So it actually has a huge advantage. And you know what? The right guy bought the camera. Because if they go out on the golf course and the younger brother is golfing, he could take some really beautiful videos in slow motion. And that slow motion can be caught at 120 frames per second. And 120 frames per second, full frame, and 4K, not 1080. So the newer cameras will do 120 frames per second, but only in HD, which is 1080p. Okay? So these boys, they got themselves a really nice camera. I almost had a little bit of buyer's remorse, seller's remorse. I hope they didn't get a buyer's remorse, because that happens. You buy something and it's like, oh, damn, should I have bought this? It's called buyer's remorse. Or you sell it and you go like, oh, I want the camera back. It's seller's remorse. So I went and deposited the money, okay, and it went off, and I ordered the FX2, and you know what? It got released yesterday. The same day that I sent the money for the purpose of buying that camera, it got released. And the Lord blessed me. I got the paper that says it's shipped. I have a tracking number. So you know I'm going to have to do what? A unboxing video. Okay. What else am I going to have to do? So you guys, come on. You're all good at this. What kind of videos do I need to make with the FX2? You guys can tell me. What do you want to see? You know? So we'll make a list. You'll help me make a list. Check it twice. Make sure it's not naughty or nice. Bop, bop, bop. Karma, how you doing? Do I know you? Do I know you? What movie is that from? Do I know you? And don't say what that's about, okay? Best anamorphic lens, full frame for Lumix. You know who's our anamorphic expert in here? Sammy. So Sammy, look up and see what the best full frame anamorphic lens is for Lumix, because I haven't shot anamorphic, but Sammy Superstar, he shoots anamorphic. So we'll give him a minute and he will answer. He actually shoots movies, and he's done a few movies. I actually have on the wall The Player, which is one of his videos. So he shoots anamorphic. So anamorphic lens for Lumix, under $1,000. Now, I'm not sure we're going to get the price down there, Karma. I think it's going to be over $1,000, but he'll tell you which anamorphic. In a few minutes, he'll chime in. Sammy, don't go to sleep. I got an assignment for you. I am new, but something cinematic in the night. I am new, but something cinematic in the night. Thanks for coming in, Karma. Are you new, or are you new to commenting? Have you seen me before? Have you seen me when I had normal hair instead of this botched up job? But anyway, thanks for coming in and saying hello. Hello, hello. I don't know why you say goodbye. I say hello. So for you guys that don't know, anamorphic squeezes the image in, so you actually get, when it gets unsqueezed inside of your software or inside of the camera, it can be done in both places. So if your camera cannot shoot anamorphic, okay, you could still video an anamorphic, and when you go into Final Cut Pro or you go into Premiere Pro, or what's the other one? Something. It's very famous. It's free. You can unsqueeze it there. So everybody's able to shoot anamorphic, whether you have it or not. Could you please introduce all the team? I am new in this channel. I haven't had the pleasure to meet you guys. Well, look through the comments. It's not very big. Look how many people we got here, 17 people. So it's not like I'm burning up the internet, Karma, okay? It's basically the same people every week. I'm not really trying to grow the channel, although please subscribe if you want to. You don't have to, okay? I'm not one of those like, smash that like button and subscribe. What the hell? People will do that if you ask them or not. If they like what you're doing, they're going to subscribe, okay? Or they'll give you a thumbs up. Look, we got 9 thumbs up. Now, on the live show, the thumbs up don't matter, but they are kind of like a pat on the back for me because it's saying, hey, how you doing, Peter? So if you're watching and you're not subscribed, don't. Only subscribe if you like what you see. That's the point of subscribing. I want to see more from this guy. Or I don't want to see more from him. I don't like him. Okay. So it's not about quality, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. That's true. What's the saying that my parents used to tell me when I was a kid? If a job is worth doing, it's worth doing right. And that's what Karma is saying right here. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. That's why I have tried to make my quality here look as good as I can. I mean, what's the sense of saying I'm a retired photographer and then my quality looks like crap? It should look good, right? So let's see. Oh, good. Sammy is chiming in. The Ciru Venus full frame anamorphic lens is a very good lens, and it's on sale. It's usually $1,500, and you can get it cheaper. Is it the Lumix mount, Sammy? Is the mount for Lumix? Because he specifically asked for Lumix. So, oh, Randy, did you woke up? I was giving you praises for helping me with shipping and telling me how to handle the shipping and all that. You're always there to help me. So I don't know if you heard all that. All right, so Randy also says the Ciru Suru. I'll get it right. Give me a little time to practice. What the hell? You want me to get everything right off the bat? I'm 72 years old. Well, I will be in October. So you got to cut me some slack. The 35 millimeter 1.8 is the 1.33x micro four thirds anamorphic lens. All right, so Karma, you have a full frame camera or a micro four thirds camera? Because the lens that Randy's talking about goes on the Lumix camera, but see, there's a gotcha there. And the gotcha is Lumix makes full frame cameras, the S5 Mark II, which is basically not what you're looking at. You're looking at the Nikon Z6 Mark III, okay? And this is the Lumix S5 Mark II. Now, this one is a full frame, but we also have the G7H. We have the G9 Mark II, which is a fantabulous camera. So we got everything covered here between Randy and Sammy, and Randy saying, I'm going to go check and hunt a full frame one down. If anybody can hunt it down, it's Randy. So Michael King is saying, hi. Hi, Michael. Good to see you, buddy. I appreciate you coming in and not just lurking, having the balls to step up and saying hi. There was no pain, right? So anyway, I appreciate it. Love you. Love everybody that's in here. Sammy says yes. And what was my question? I forgot. Don't just say yes or no. Say yes, Peter, blah, blah, blah. Well, what did I ask? And you're saying yes. I don't have any yet. I will give you my background ASAP. Okay, good. So if you don't have a camera yet, be aware that Lumix makes two different sensor sizes, the micro four thirds and full frame. So what we're looking at right now is full frame from Lumix. This is the S5 Mark II. Definitely a camera I can recommend. The camera is fantabulous, okay? It's got excellent image stabilization. It's got a fan built in. It's mwah, ooh la la, okay? So when Randy or Sammy came up with the anamorphic lens, now, if you don't have either camera, don't sell yourself that you have to have anamorphic. You could take any video and crop it and put black bars on the top and the bottom, and that's a fake anamorphic. It will look like you shot in widescreen. Just take a few steps back, because if you put black bars on the top and the bottom, then it will look, the illusion will look like it's much wider. It's cheating, it's fake, but a lot of people do it, and it works. I've done it myself. It looks, I even get compliments. And I never explain. Oh, I didn't do it anamorphic. Don't be eager to confess your secrets. Your secrets are yours, buddy. Keep them in the underwear drawer. Okay. So, anyway. So, Randy is now giving you a full frame anamorphic lens. Okay. It's a $500 lens. It's 35 millimeters. T to 1.9, okay, which is kind of like the f-stop. And I'm not going to explain that now, but it means something. It's a crop sensor lens. It says 1.6x. Then he says full frame. So I don't know what that means. I'm sure it means something that I'm not getting. And it's made by Leica. Ooh, you are talking some really high quality. For $500, you run down to the store and you buy that lens now if you want that. Okay, but it's not autofocusing. I think there's only one lens that's actually autofocusing. Now, here's the gotcha. It's not a gotcha, it's actually an advantage. Randy, if you can think of it, which I know you can, please put up online, in the comment, the adapter that will adapt a Sony lens on, oh, that's Nikon. He's Lumix. Never mind, Randy. Just hold your horses. Okay. Don't worry. I am so Advilled up now so that I could sit in the chair, because sitting in this chair actually is painful. So I've taken 3 or 4 Advils, and I'm feeling great. I feel pretty, oh so pretty. Anyway, so let's see where we were. Here's Philip. Happy name day, Philip, to anybody in the family that's Peter, Maria, and Espanilla. Simena in Espanilla, August 15th. Yasu, Kalimera, Kalispera, Ketapidiasu. Is it true the lower the megapixels a camera has, it's better for low light? Why is it? Because it's better for low light. The less the megapixels, like the ZV-E1 only has 12 megapixels. And people go, poo, 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 poo. 12 megapixels? What's up with that? Damn, they got cameras out there with 60 megapixels. Why are you sitting here, Peter, telling us that one of your very favorite cameras is 12 megapixels? What the hell is wrong with you, Peter? Because they're big, fat, juicy pixels. They suck in light better than any other sucker out there. And that means you can get in very low light and still get a high quality, ooh la la picture. That's one of the advantages of the ZV-E1. What people think is its weakness is actually its strength. So the weakness is, if you do want to get into heavy cropping, then you either buy a more powerful zoom lens, so you don't have to crop at all, or buy a camera with more megapixels. So I actually have a lens that goes from 70 to 350. It's a zoom lens. And if I put it in crop mode, which is a crop sensor, it'll actually go to 550 megapixels. So this bullcrap that I have to crop like crazy is exactly that. It's bullcrap. Okay? So if you've got the proper lenses, you don't have to be, singing the negativity of a 12 megapixel sensor. It's just you don't know what the hell you're doing. I don't mean it, don't take it personally. I don't mean it as an attack on anybody. Okay? But that's how you handle. How do you handle a hungry man? That was a commercial years ago. Anyway, so that's the reason the lower megapixels, the pixels that's on the sensor, Philip, it's they're bigger and bigger and bigger. So if you have to put in, like the FX2 that I ordered has got 33 megapixels on a full frame sensor. And the ZV-E1 that I sold has got 12 megapixels on a full frame sensor. So which sensor has bigger pixels? Each individual pixel, which is where the light is absorbed, which one's got the bigger pixels, meaning it can absorb a lot more light? The 12 megapixels. There's only 12 million pixels on that sensor. The 33 megapixel, okay, from the FX2. By the way, the FX2 is basically the A7 Mark IV put into a smaller body, or the professional FX line body. So you can have the same camera in 2 forms. The A7 Mark IV in its full glory, or take all that, whoosh, shrink it down, and put it into a body about the size of an FX30, which makes it kind of like this size. Why do I like this size? Because I like to get in front of the camera and talk. Hey, it's Peter. How you doing? Haven't seen you in so long. What's up, dude? Okay, so now I'm talking to the camera. So if I got a big old heavy camera, guess what gets sore after a while? My non-muscle. My guns. Okay, so I like the smaller body. Now, when you have a smaller body and you're going to stuff all this goodness in there, guess what? If you don't know how to treat it and how to handle it, it will have a tendency to overheat. And if it actually overheats, you're shut down until the camera comes back on. So the FX2, actually, they put it all in a smaller body. They put the bigger sensor, the same sensor from the Mark IV, okay, the A7 Mark IV. They put it into the smaller camera body like this, and the camera can overheat. So they have a built-in fan, which is one of the things that attracted me. So what if you were the guys, they're not watching, so that's fine. What if you were the guys that bought my camera? And you're going like, Peter, do you mean I bought a camera that's going to overheat all the time? No, you're not. You didn't. Okay. What you do, and it's worked for me, I've only had the camera overheat one time, and it was my fault, not the camera's fault. It's just like when you follow a recipe and it says preheat the oven to 350 degrees. What does that mean? Preheat the oven before you put your food in. So you preheat the camera almost to the point of overheating, turn it off for exactly 15 minutes. So what you do is you take your stinking phone out of your pocket and say, hey, Siri, give me a 15-minute timer. Give me a 15-minute timer. It's doing it now. Okay, let me shut that off. All right. And then after the 15 minutes, it's cooled down enough where it won't trigger the overheating, but it's heated up enough where it also won't trigger a shutdown. And I have run the camera, the ZV-E1, at 60p when in a hot 85-degree house, doing the Christmas lights, okay, not even a peep out of the camera, that it was not even, it'll give you a warning on the screen, hey, we're going to overheat, jerk, okay, didn't even get that. So you got to preheat the camera, just like you preheat an oven. So that was Philip, and Karma is saying, actually, I'm a cybersecurity analyst with red team background. And after 35 years old, oh, are you 35 years old? I found a passion for videography and cinema. I started a channel recording with my phone and I want to upgrade. Well, let me tell you two things, Karma. I'm proud of you that you didn't stick your head in the sand and say, I only have an iPhone and I just can't, or whatever phone you got, I can't do video. You did a great job by doing your videos on your phone. The phones are so advanced today, you can run a whole channel with your phone. So I'm proud of you for doing that and not letting it be an obstacle that you couldn't overcome. That's number one. Number two, you want to make another step forward, okay? So the two cameras that I would recommend would be something in the Lumix line or something in the Sony line. And if you want to make the right choice, pick a camera that's got a fan in it. Because if you don't, your ability to handle that noise it'll be a higher, what do they call it when you have to step over it? Obstacle to jump over. Now, it's not like you can't do it. Randy does it all the time. I do it all the time. Randy's got a lot of cameras, and he knows how to keep them from overheating. Okay? That doesn't mean they won't overheat. So you're on the right track, Karma. Proud of you, buddy. Okay? I really am. You really stepped up to the plate, and you're doing inspirational choices. Here's Mark. Hi, Mark. I love you, buddy. Hey, Peter. So you use Ecamm to invite people to your stream? Have you tried or heard of VOD Ninja? No. Come on. Don't just leave me hanging. Does it work on my Apple, or is it only a Windows program? Because I'm going to have to look into that without question. The main thing, Mark, is I want to see the white screen, the white comment down there. That is the killer for me. That's how I actually interact with each person on a very personal basis. That's my personality. I'm very personal in saying, hey, Mark, how are you doing? Now, if I don't put your comment there, you'll only see it over to the right of your screen, outside the screen, over there. Okay? Now, I can read it, but it's so much more personal, when I do that and put your comment actually up on the screen. It's my way of going above and beyond. And so many of them do it now, but when I first started, I was one of the very few people that was actually putting the comment on there. And it actually makes you connect with the audience. And for me, that was a key feature. And it kept me in the Ecamm family, because in Apple, there's only OBS will do something like this. But even with OBS, I've never been able to get the comment up on the screen. I mean, maybe it's my fault. You can blame me. But that's what keeps me in with Ecamm, because it keeps me out. I mean, I can't get a hold of you and hug you and take you out for dinner or go to a bar and buy you a beer. I could put your comment on the screen. Okay? I find that important. Now, other people don't find that important at all. Okay? Karma says, I'm thinking about the S1 Mark II, but open for any ideas or recommendations. I record cars, races, and podcasts, car reviews, and that type of stuff. I love car reviews. I'm a Tesla lover, okay, in case you didn't know that. That's why I was so excited when the boys came up to buy the Eleanor ZV-E1, and they drove up in a Cybertruck. I never thought in a million years that I have a Cybertruck in my driveway. I mean, when God blessed me, he blessed me. Bam. Okay? Now I'm waiting for the blessing where God's going to send me the money. I'm going to buy me a Model Y. That's going to be the big blessing. All right? And as Sammy would say, did you pray about it, Peter? Well, yes, I have, actually. So Karma is saying great recommendations. Thank you. Randy is saying Siru 35mm is a Leica L mount. Okay. And Randy says the Sony FX2 is bigger than the A7C Mark II. Shh, don't tell Peter. Peter thinks it's just the right size for him. So don't burst his bubble, because then he's gonna have buyer's remorse. So by telling him, oh no, Peter, you bought a camera that's a lot bigger, you're gonna make me sad. I don't want to be sad. As long as I can hold the camera up and it's not really uncomfortable and I can get it wide enough so I can tuck my elbow in for a little added support, and I don't have to do that where it hurts my arm after a while, I should be happy. So I'll find out soon enough, and maybe that's one of the things that I will report on. Will the camera be easy for me to vlog with, or is it going to be a pain in the ass? Okay. Mark says, oh, Ecamm is for Mac only. Yeah, you can't put it on a Windows computer. I have an Alien computer. That's a Dell. So I couldn't use that. No, you can't use it. So you have to learn how to work OBS, or what's the other software, Randy, that I looked up and I can't think of the name? There's one that takes OBS and makes it a pleasure to use. And if Randy remembers it, he's going to pop it up in a minute. Okay. So yeah, whether you're Mac or Windows or whatever it's called these days, makes a big difference. So threshold. So Mookie is answering one of my questions, but I don't remember what it was connected to. Video Ninja is a good free web-based way to bring video, audio into your live stream. It works on the Mac and the PC. Mookie, you get the big hug of the night. Which camera am I on? Oh, over here. So he gave me the full statistics. First of all, it doesn't work in the computer. It works on the web, which chances are it's limited to 1080. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm actually broadcasting right now in 4K. Yes, sirree. Okay. So, but I've done that for years. All of my broadcasts, or most of them, are 4K. Because I look at it this way. No, I look at it this way. If I'm a retired wedding photographer, and my image that you're seeing now, not the face, how ugly I am, but the image, the quality of my set, that my background is out of focus and that I'm actually in focus, that the coloring on my face is good, and it's sharp, and you can actually see the strands of my hair. The fan is blowing the heck out of my hair. Why didn't I use hairspray? Okay. And I look crappy. How are you going to believe me when I say I'm a professional wedding photographer? I'm a professional portrait photographer. Did you see the pictures I took of these boys? You know what the important thing is? Each individual picture, in my mind, as I shoot a picture, let's look at it together again. It's only a minute long, so don't get pissed off, okay? Each individual picture is a portrait in itself. Each one is a gem. This is a portrait. His mom could print that and frame it, and it's there's my son. This one looks like a portrait. If his mom printed that out, this one is the two brothers. The mom would go, oh my God, my babies, there they are. Here's a gorgeous portrait. This guy could be a freaking model. Look how handsome he is. Okay, I take every picture and I process it to look like a portrait. It's key. It's very, very important that they actually look like portraits. That's how my mind thinks. And the same thing translates over to video. My video, other than the ugly guy that you see right there, this, if I went like this, that's a portrait. If it was cropped properly, background's out of focus, the art, the guy's in focus, that hat doesn't belong there. But this is how I visualize all the photography, including the videos, unless it's an event photography. So if I'm at your house and we're having dinner and I'm recording the dinner and everything, that's not a portrait, that's an event. Okay, so I would be recording an event, which it makes it a key point. Then the event has to be interesting. I'm not going to sit there and video you for 10 minutes chewing your food. That's not good photography. So you've got to imagine the finished product with everything that you shoot needs to be either interesting or close to being a portrait. Otherwise, you're just doing snapshots, or you're just doing, I'm going to get you ever see where all the cameras are out and they're all shooting Ed Sheeran singing or something. Those are not professional videos. Okay. Now, the professional videographer or photographer that's shooting that is going to be sniper shooting to get wonderful imaging. That's part of photography. And it shouldn't be such a high challenge where it makes you frustrated. It should be something that you're willing to do and grow into actually being a good photographer. So I'm a retired wedding photographer. Every shot that I take has to be something worthy of the wedding book or being printed. And you get trained like that. It's not like I'm suffering to get that picture. One of the keys is the lenses that you choose. You want to be able to either have everything in focus. Now, why would you want to have everything in focus? Because you might have a bride and a groom, her uncle, her aunt, his cousin, and you got all these people. They're not interested in artistry at that moment. They want to see the cousin, the uncle, and the aunt. Why the hell is the bride and groom in focus and everybody else is out of focus? We want to see our family. And you need to be smart enough to know when you want to get the family in focus and the hell with the background versus if you've got the bride doing a toast or the groom pondering, okay, and you blur out the background. That is the process of becoming a photographer that knows what to shoot and what it's going to look like when you're done. Okay? Okay, so Karma, I like the S1 Mark II. Why do you say the E? Is it a Mark E? It's a S1 Mark II, correct? Maybe I got it wrong. And the Sony A7 Mark III, which is the camera that I worked on in here for 3 years, which is why I'm very excited about the FX2. I'll make a whole video based on this. But the A7 Mark III that you like, Karma, okay, it just produced great imagery. Yeah, it had its problems, okay, and I had to overcome them, and some of them you just couldn't. It was what's built into the camera. So now that they have the A7 Mark IV, that's one giant step better than the A7 Mark III. Now they took all the goodness of the A7 Mark IV and stuffed it, shoehorned it into the FX2 and added things to boot, okay? It'll take an CF Express card. It's got the full HDMI plug. It's got the fan built into it. It's got the smaller body. It takes the full-size battery. And if the A7 Mark III that you've got, Karma, was that good, the A7 Mark IV is the next step forward. And that camera goes under the radar for a lot of people. I ran my entire channel right here in the Christmas room. Actually, not this Christmas room, the Christmas room prior to this, because I moved into this room from another room, which was actually next door to this room. And I ran the A7 Mark III for over 2 years. And then I'm getting it back, A7 Mark IV, with all its goodness. Same sensor, same processor, with a lot of goodies to boot. And a smaller body, which is important to me, because I'm small. I'm a short little guy, okay? So holding up a camera, my arms aren't that long. If I don't get the right camera, my arms have to go really, really far out. That way or that way, wherever I can fit in this frame. So I need to get a camera so I can do it right here, and it looks nice. It's important to me. I like to do quality work, and you should too. And you should do whatever it takes for you to do quality work. Okay? So the A7 Mark IV is the camera that I'm buying in the FX2. They tipped it over a little more to be video-centric, and added some things into that camera that make it good. Some people are really crying out loud because it crops the 60p mode to a 1.5 APS-C size. But this is an APS-C. I'm going to put this lens. It's going to go to APS-C size anyway. And that's only for 60p, by the way. If you shoot 30p or 24p, it stays full frame, okay? And all your pictures are full frame. So all this moaning and groaning, it's not full frame. You know what? Let me say something that's going to be a little nasty. The people that are bitching and moaning about the FX2, they got no business buying the damn camera. They got an opinion somewhere where it doesn't count. It's the people that have an FX3 that think, this is for me. It says FX on it. It must be for you. It's not for you. It's for people that have the A7 Mark IV, that want all the goodness of the A7 Mark IV in a better configuration with an advance on what it can do, full-size HDMI, a fan built in. It does have a viewfinder. That's who the camera's for. So you've got all these people that like pancakes complaining how all they sell is waffles. Well, the waffles aren't for you, so stop moaning. I was going to say a bad word. Okay? So, you get my drift? So, Mark, thank you, Mookie. I was just about to say that. See, you guys you're on target. Boy, I got a little hyper. It's the Advil. It was great to tune in. Unfortunately, we are headed off to our son's 30th birthday. Take care. And as always, stay safe and stay awesome. We'll tune in next week before I head off. Well, you guys that are going to watch this on the rewind, meaning I sit here so you don't actually have to watch. You could just listen for most of it. Okay, except the slideshow that I showed you, which has the pictures of those beautiful, handsome model guys. That you would want to see. Okay, so you could just listen on the rewind. So where that, and then Mookie says, take care, Jeff, down in Australia. Randy says, while recording a video, you could take photos for thumbnails with the FX2. Yeah, the FX2 does that. I forgot about that, Randy. Good call, Randy. Good call, Randy. What is that, Family Feud? Good one. Good answer. Good answer. Okay. While you're shooting a video with the FX2, now I haven't done this. So I don't know if I'm going to like it or not. I'll let you know. Okay. You can actually hit the shutter button and it'll record a still picture for you. Bada boom, bada bing. Is that the right thing? All right. And it doesn't interrupt your video. Now, whether it pauses it or blanks it out, we'll find out. Okay, but that is a good feature. Mark, any suggestion on how to make a room soundproof? What is your take of the soundproof padding you can buy? All right, I've never bought the soundproof padding. I'm a big believer in something very stupid, okay? I'm a big believer in carpets. Carpets that you go to Home Depot that you see hanging, you buy those and pick pretty ones, okay? Hang them on the wall all the way around, okay? Carpets on the floor, carpets on the wall. Or you can buy those foam things and put them all up and it'll look like you got blocks, foam blocks all around. And they work good. I'm not poo-pooing them. But a carpet, some of them are pretty enough to look like it's a painting hanging up there. So, and they stop all the bounce. And you can put up 2 carpets on a wall. You can put up a wall-to-wall carpet. Actually, in the room before this, or the room in between, I carpeted the wall. I actually stapled a regular floor carpet to the wall, corner to corner. So it looks like somebody carpeted the wall. And then I took a rake from the garden. I raked the carpet so it looked pretty, and it was done. But another alternative is you buy one of these floor carpets. What do they call them when they're scatter carpets? Get a big one. Get a 2x4 or 2x2. Staple it up there or nail it up there and then hang the 2x2 and let the carpet hang itself down. And you could put that all around the room and actually make the room look much more livable. Okay. The S1 Mark II and the S1R Mark II and the S1 IIe. I'm going to have to look them up and get myself up to speed, Karma. Up, and Randy's chiming in. S1R2, S1 II, and the S1 IIe. Faster autofocusing than what you got, Peter. The S5 Mark II. Thanks, Randy. But I'm fine with the S5 Mark II. Okay, you're looking at it in 3, 2, 1 now. S5 Mark II. Ba-dum-bum. So if I actually hold this up, okay, focused right on it. See, my face is a little bit out of focus. Drop it down. It's right in focus. I have no complaints. I think the S1 Mark II, one of the best buys on the market. But what do I know? Randy's talking to Mark. Carpet and furniture plus a cover for your microphone. There you go. Thanks, Randy. Carpet is out of the question. Oh, okay. The furniture is already in place, and I would have to move everything out to place carpet. Oh, are you talking about carpet on the wall or carpet on the floor? If you're carpeting the floor with wall-to-wall carpet, yeah. But an area rug? Just get a buddy over there, lift one side of the couch, roll up the carpet, lift up the other side of the couch or the chair and roll it through. So you can I've done that in my bedroom with the bed. Okay. So you can carpet the hell out of what you need, but you might not need that much carpet, Mark. Right, dude? Just whatever it is to actually dumb down the, the sound from annoying you. All right, guys, we have reached the end. We talked about the FX2. I can't wait to start showing it. Nobody told me anything about what videos to make. So if you're watching this on the rewind, make a comment on what videos to make with the FX2 when it gets here. Okay? You gonna help me out by making your suggestions or not? It's not just Randy that I want to suggest or Sammy. I want you guys all to participate. Tell me what to do. Be bossy. All right. That's the end of our show. Great Friday night. And see you next week, God willing, in the bridges and up. And my goal is the sky and not the grave. Okay. Before I sign off, Mookie, by the way, the Voodoo Ninja will do 4K as long as your guests have the bandwidth to send it. If not, it will drop to their resolution. How about the broadcaster like me? Can I broadcast in 4K? Because even the guests that come on here, they're in 1080 with Ecamm. The guests are in 1080. I'm in 4K. The guests are in 1080. Okay. So Mookie is taking us out. Take care of everybody and have a great week. And Randy is saying good night, everybody. And he's the one that normally takes us out. So thank you guys. Keep me in your prayers. For the blessings and the healing, because I'm kind of in pain tonight. Thanks, and have a great weekend. Have a great weekend. You guys too. It is weekend time. And thank you, Randy. I always try to put him last because that'll stay and become the thumbnail. And good night, everybody. I love you. Thank you for being my friend. That's actually important to me. And have a good one. All right. Bye-bye.